From the moment we are born, day by day, something invaluable is taken from each of us. This isn't about finances or possessions, but about our vital life energy. This process occurs subtly, almost imperceptibly, yet with relentless regularity. People wake up already feeling drained, mechanically perform daily tasks with an inner emptiness, and at the end of the day, wonder where their strength has gone. This is not an accident or a coincidence, nor is it a matter of weakness or incompetence. The reason lies in how the world we inhabit is structured, designed to continuously take, drain, and accumulate the very life force that sustains each of us. An entire system has been created, so flawless and deeply embedded in daily life, that few notice how their energy is slipping away. People follow a prescribed script. They work diligently, adhere to rules, and strive to stay informed about everything. But the paradox is, the more effort one expends, the stronger the feeling of hopelessness and helplessness becomes. It's like quicksand. The more desperately you try to escape, the faster you sink into the mire. But here's the truth. No one is to blame for this. It's not about individual effort or personal failures. The core issue lies in a system that profits from fatigue, distraction, and compliance. Attention, emotions, time, all of these have been turned into currency, and people, without realizing it, are paying with them. But what if we could imagine stopping this endless cycle? What if we could reclaim the energy that's constantly being drained and redirect it toward creating a life that truly belongs to us? We will discuss how this invisible trap was created and how it subtly siphons off our strength. And most importantly, we will explore ways to break free from it. Because once the true nature of the system is revealed, you will gain the power to evade its influence. Energy is not merely a resource, it is the quintessence of potential. The moment you decide to stop playing by someone else's rules, everything will change. So, let's delve into this topic together to uncover the truth and take the first steps toward restoring your vital energy, your most fundamental resource. This isn't just about the physical energy expended during movement or work, but also about your thoughts, attention, and emotions. Everything that drives your decisions, actions, and dreams. And it is precisely this resource, so personal and powerful, that has been learned how to exploit. What if you were to learn that your energy is being collected daily, and it's happening invisibly? This isn't accidental. It's a meticulously planned operation. The world we live in was designed precisely to extract your very essence, your attention, emotions, and focus, and channel it into a system that profits from your exhaustion. And here's how it works. Energy is not infinite. Every thought, every decision, every ounce of attention comes at a cost. Those who control the system understand this better than anyone else. They don't need to take anything by force. They only need your attention. Because wherever your energy is directed, there too goes your power. In the modern world, human attention has become a constant battleground. Countless stimuli, from news headlines to social media notifications and pervasive advertising, strive to capture it, fragmenting it into pieces. Every expression of emotion, be it anger, sadness, or exhilaration, is transformed into fuel for this insatiable machine. However, manipulators don't stop at mere distraction. They skillfully employ division, creating conflicts on political, social, and even domestic grounds to keep people in a state of continuous struggle. In the political sphere, Every election cycle offers a choice between two options, be they red or blue, left or right. This is presented as a momentous decision capable of changing the world. But does it truly happen? Regardless of the choice made, the system remains unchanged. The wealthy continue to get richer, those in power retain their positions, and the lives of most people do not significantly improve. The reason lies in the fact that the offered choice is illusory, serving only to divert attention. People are instilled with the belief that they have a voice, drawing them into a game with a predetermined outcome. Similar manipulations permeate all aspects of life: identity, brands, sports teams. Everything becomes a battleground where people are compelled to take sides, argue, and defend their choices as if these define their very essence. However, manipulators are indifferent to which side a person chooses. The main goal is their involvement in the conflict. As long as people are fighting, they don't ask questions, they don't see the bigger picture, and they don't realize that the problem lies within the system itself. The world is structured in such a way that division keeps people in constant tension, where every headline and every trending topic becomes a tool to capture and hold their attention within a predetermined cycle. Even the sense of identity is turned into a weapon. From birth, people are assigned labels defining their nationality, religion, and social class, and are taught to cling to them. These labels become the walls of a cage, shaping their perception of themselves and the world around them. However, the stronger one's attachment to these labels, the easier it is to control them. Identifying as part of a specific group inevitably leads to perceiving other groups as adversaries. While people are busy fighting each other, they rarely contemplate the system that generated this conflict. The genius of this design lies in the fact that by dividing people, they are distracted, and by distracting them, they are kept subjugated. Every unit of energy spent on debate, defense, or attack fuels this system. Therefore, it's worth considering. Are you truly making your own choices, or merely playing an assigned role? Are you fighting for freedom, or are you mired in an illusion that keeps you in place? Once the invisible system is understood in its true essence, the rules of the game will change. Distractions will lose their power, labels will lose their meaning, and conflicts will be drained of energy. This will be the first step toward reclaiming your own energy and your own life. Fear is the oldest and most potent lever of control. It is employed not through chains and bars, but through a constant reminder of the dangers and instability of the world around us. Every news headline, every breaking alert, every ominous prediction is meticulously crafted to keep individuals in a state of perpetual tension. Why? Because fear bypasses logic. It activates the most primitive instincts, stripping away the ability to think critically. When gripped by fear, a person doesn't reflect or ask questions. They merely react. They become trapped in survival mode, focused solely on their immediate surroundings. And manipulators know this. They have created a world where individuals are bombarded with threats every minute, whether real or exaggerated. Fear narrows the horizons of perception and keeps people confined within the system. This is precisely why there's a feeling of being chained to news feeds, endlessly scrolling through social media and tracking every new crisis. This isn't mere anxiety. It's a deliberately engineered reality. Artificially inflated fear keeps the body in a constant state of stress. Cortisol floods the system, the heart races, and energy depletes. Such a lifestyle doesn't just wear you out, it destroys you. Chronic stress erodes the body and mind, weakens the immune system, disrupts sleep, and clouds judgment. Over time, individuals become physically exhausted and mentally paralyzed, unable to see the bigger picture or make any meaningful changes in their lives. However, fear is merely one tool of manipulation. It acts as an entry point. Once emotional resources are depleted, individuals are drawn into an endless cycle of consumption. They are led to believe that relief, happiness, and security are just one purchase away. Feeling stressed? Buy something. Feeling unsafe? Invest in something. Goods, services, and solutions are presented as salvation, but in reality, they only fuel an insatiable desire for more. The essence is that consumerism is designed not to satisfy needs, but to perpetuate a constant state of wanting. Let's consider the world of work. The 40-hour work week has become a cornerstone of modern life. But how justified is it? Does it foster creativity and well-being? Not at all. It's an artfully constructed cage. People exchange the best hours of their day and years of their lives for a livelihood that is never enough to achieve freedom. Then comes the trap of debt. Promises of alluring prospects, student loans, credit cards, mortgages, ensnare individuals in years, even decades, of repayments. The system is designed to keep people constantly working, striving, and in a state of energy deficit. Finally, consider cities, places presented as centers of opportunity and success. But at what cost? Cities are designed for overstimulation and suppression. The endless noise, flashing lights, and crowded streets don't just overwhelm the senses, they deplete the soul. Humans are not adapted for such a life. We did not evolve to thrive in concrete jungles, cut off from sunlight, fresh air, and the calming presence of nature. Yet, this is presented as progress. But is it truly progress if the very environment is created to keep people disconnected, anxious, and exhausted? Consider for a moment, how often does your ear pick up the wail of sirens, persistent car horns, or the rumble of a construction site? Even if your conscious mind tries to ignore these irritants, your subconscious tirelessly scans the environment, processing every sound, every minute stimulus. This continuous process depletes your mental and emotional resources. And what about the absence of much-needed greenery? The touch of sunlight on your skin, the feel of grass beneath your feet. These are not mere whims, but essential needs. Yet, in urban jungles, these elements are treated as secondary, hidden away in rare, isolated parks that there's barely time to visit. And of course, there's the pace of life, a relentless race, an endless churn of tasks, forcing you to constantly rush from one thing to the next. Cities beckon with prospects, but in return, take away the most precious thing, the time needed for reflection, for a breath of fresh air, for simple human existence. When you combine all these factors, the constant sense of anxiety, the cult of consumption, the exhausting work schedule, and the overstimulation inherent in urban life, it's no wonder you feel completely drained. This state is unnatural. It is the result of a meticulously planned system, and the longer one remains within this system, the more energy they surrender. But what would happen if you were to take a step back? If you stopped reacting blindly, ceased unrestrained consumption, and started asking questions? This is precisely what those who control the system fear the most. Because the moment awareness of these manipulative tools dawns, you begin to reclaim your lost power. And it is in this awakening that true freedom lies. Energy loss isn't always obvious. Often, the most effective methods of energy extraction are cleverly disguised as entertainment, communication, or progress. One of the most common instruments is the pervasive influence of media and technology. Social media, once conceived as a means to connect people, has morphed into an ingenious mechanism designed to seize attention and hold it at all costs. Every post, every notification, every endless scroll through a news feed, all of it is meticulously planned to keep the user engaged. It's no coincidence that people spend hours staring at screens, only to feel drained and unsatisfied afterward. The principle is simple. Algorithms prioritize user engagement, not well-being. And the surest way to hold attention is to provoke outrage. Content that incites anger, irritation, or a desire to defend oneself is far more likely to capture attention than something neutral or positive. This is why every other post resembles a battle cry, drawing people into heated debates, emotional arguments, and the constant need to defend their convictions. But while individuals are battling in comments or endlessly refreshing their feeds, their energy is relentlessly depleted. Every emotional reaction has a price. Every fiery exchange takes a toll. And the more exhausted a person becomes, the easier it is for the system to keep them hooked, as they simply lack the strength to disengage and critically assess what is happening. But that's not all. Streaming services are another powerful player in this game. They offer an endless stream of content, perfectly tailored to keep viewers glued to their screens. Autoplay functions, carefully selected recommendations, and binge-worthy series ensure that people are constantly consuming, constantly distracted, and constantly giving away more of their time and attention. But energy depletion goes far deeper than it appears at first glance. It's not just about visual content, but also about audio. Music, once a powerful source of inspiration and spiritual upliftment, has today transformed into yet another tool of manipulation. The harmonious frequencies of the past, which resonated with nature and elevated the human spirit, have given way to artificially created sounds designed to keep people in a state of low vibration. Just look at modern music charts. Dominant bass lines and repetitive rhythms impact primitive instincts, evoking feelings of aggression, despair, or longing. These emotions, seemingly harmless, actually keep people in survival mode, forcing them to react rather than reflect. And don't forget the lyrics. How often do they glorify toxic relationships, unattainable wealth, or a superficial lifestyle? These messages are not just words, they are a form of programming. They create a sense of scarcity, convincing you that you are not good enough unless you strive for imposed ideals. The more you listen to such music, the deeper these ideas take root, subtly shaping your perceptions and priorities. Even modern music production methods contribute to energy depletion. Unlike the timeless melodies of the past, contemporary music is created for rapid consumption and quick obsolescence. It is designed to hold the listener's attention just long enough to keep them listening, but not long enough to inspire long-term change or deep reflection. As a result, people feel fragmented, distracted, and emotionally drained. Thus, music, much like social media and streaming platforms, becomes another tool in the system's arsenal, aimed at maintaining a state of energy exhaustion. So it's worth asking, how much time, attention, and emotional energy are you spending on media and technology? How often do you find yourself reacting to outrage, consuming content endlessly, or listening to songs that evoke negative feelings? The truth is, these energy leaks are pervasive, woven into the fabric of daily life. However, recognizing their existence is the first step toward liberation. Once you understand how these tools are used to extract your energy, you can reclaim control over your attention, emotions, and life. This is where your true power lies. Liberation from the system begins with a crucial step: reclaiming your attention. Attention is the most valuable resource you possess, and it is precisely what the system targets. Every headline, notification, and urgent message is designed to distract, compel you to react, and emotionally exhaust you. If you want to regain control, you must limit your exposure to fear-based narratives. It's worth asking yourself, what content are you consuming that truly benefits you? Most of it is noise, designed to keep you hooked, stressed, and fearful. Disconnecting from the 24/7 news cycle, turning off notifications that interrupt your day, and taking regular breaks from social media where outrage and disagreement dominate. These are all necessary steps. These platforms don't just inform, they manipulate. The less you interact with distractions, the more energy you reclaim. Simply avoiding distractions is merely the first step toward achieving inner freedom. It's crucial to channel the liberated energy into constructive avenues, creativity, personal development, and activities that resonate with your convictions. Whether it's writing, painting, or innovative thinking, creativity becomes an act of resistance against a system that thrives on passive consumption. This is how you assert your independence and prove that your energy belongs to you and can be directed as you choose. Reconnecting with nature is another crucial aspect of liberation. This isn't just a brief walk in the park, but a deep immersion in the rhythms of the natural world. Modern life, with its flickering screens and artificial environments, has severed people from their sources of vitality. It is essential to go outside, feel the warmth of the sun's rays, and sense the wind. Listen to the bird song, the rustling of leaves, and the murmur of water. Nature possesses a unique ability to reset inner energy, bring you back from chaos to harmony, and remind you of eternal values. This connection with nature is not just a pleasant pastime, it's a vital necessity. Humans are not meant to exist in concrete jungles, surrounded by noise, pollution, and overstimulation. You need to feel part of the natural world, follow its cycles, and draw strength from its simplicity. Being in nature has a powerful impact. It reduces stress levels, clarifies the mind, and restores perspective. It's not merely a respite from the system, but a way to replenish the energy it takes away. To achieve true freedom, you must simplify your life and eliminate everything superfluous. For a long time, we've been taught that more means better. More things, more obligations, more of everything. However, the constant pursuit of more is just another trap. Start by decluttering your physical space. Look around and ask yourself, how many things in your environment are truly necessary? How many items clutter your home and drain your energy with their mere presence? Get rid of them. Space free from chaos creates clarity on both a physical and mental level. Simplify your schedule. Modern life convinces us that busyness is synonymous with productivity. But this is yet another illusion. Stop burdening yourself with an impossible load. Focus on the people, activities, and goals that truly matter. Decline anything that doesn't align with your values or drains your energy without offering anything in return. Liberation is about creating space for reflection, for breathing, for living by your own rules. It's the ability to cut through the noise and reconnect with what truly brings meaning to your life. This is not a one-time effort, but an ongoing process. Every day, new distractions, new demands, and new ways the system tries to pull you back into its orbit will emerge. But every conscious decision to reclaim your attention, reconnect with nature, and simplify your life is a step toward freedom. The system functions only when it is fed. Stop giving it your energy, and its power over you will weaken. Ask yourself a key question. Where will your attention be directed today? Will you allow the informational noise and chaos to consume it? Or will you take control and use it to create something truly meaningful? After all, it's your life, your personal energy, and ultimately, your choice. Start with a small step. Spend a few minutes outdoors. Turn off notifications on your smartphone for at least an hour, or tidy a small corner of your home. Each step may seem insignificant, but collectively, they will pave the way to the life that truly belongs to you. Within you lies an immense power of liberation. The main question is simply whether you have the resolve to wield it. Now that the veil has been lifted, let's pause briefly and reflect on what has become evident. Your energy, the very essence of your thoughts, emotions, and attention, is systematically being depleted by a system designed to profit from your exhaustion. However, awareness is your most powerful weapon. We have explored ways to reclaim lost creativity, rediscovering the power within you to shape your own life, rather than being a passive consumer of someone else's. We discussed the importance of reconnecting with nature, of grounding yourself in natural rhythms that restore rather than deplete. And we emphasized the necessity of simplifying your life, shedding the informational noise, clutter, and distractions that keep you confined within someone else's game. Understand one simple truth. This system relies on your compliance. It depends on your energy, your attention, and, most importantly, your belief that there is no way out. But the very moment you take the first step toward reclaiming your energy, their power begins to wane. With every conscious choice you make to prioritize your well-being, creativity, and peace of mind, you liberate yourself from their trap. But this isn't just about you. It's something greater than mere personal liberation. When you reclaim your energy, you inspire others to follow your example. Together, we can create a domino effect, forming a movement of people who refuse to let a system that feeds on their exhaustion dictate the terms of their lives. Share this message with those who need it, with those who feel stuck, drained, or trapped, but don't yet understand the true reasons. Join this movement by taking small yet significant daily actions that prioritize your energy and freedom. And most importantly, act immediately. Don't put it off until tomorrow, next week, or that mythical perfect moment. Disconnect from distractions, step outside, tidy a corner of your life. Whatever it may be, start right now. Because every action, no matter how insignificant it may seem at first glance, brings you closer to the life you deserve. This is not just about liberation from the system's oppression, but about creating something fundamentally better. A life where your energy fuels your dreams, not someone else's machine. A world where you thrive, create, and live a full life on your own terms. The choice is yours. Will you continue to feed this system, or will you reclaim what rightfully belongs to you? If you are ready to reclaim your energy and embrace your power, take the first step right now.